on.
Hey folks, what's up? It's Matt and Ian here with Downrange Firearms Training. Today I want to talk to you real quick about med kits and med supplies and stuff that you guys should have with you on the range and part of your everyday carry. One of the things that we bring out to all of our courses is a big med kit like this. So this med kit has everything from soup to nuts in it. Anything to handle any kind of essentially what we call a combat trauma or combat casualty. It's got chest decompression needles in it. It's got NPAs in it. Obviously sterile gloves and stuff like that. It's got splints. It's got combat gauze. It's got quick clot. It's got IV bags, Celox, cat tourniquets. Anything you need in here is essentially kind of stuff that you're going to do as a first responder if there's a gunshot wound or something like that on the range and you're waiting for EMS or before you evac a student or an instructor or something like that out of the class. This is stuff that could potentially save somebody's life as far as a first line response goes before you bring somebody to a hospital or you have EMTs appear on the scene. This is stuff that we recommend that folks implement in their training. Reason being, if you know how to make holes, you should know how to close holes. Very simple. Moving on from this, we have our special operations equipment, courtesy of John Willis. Our tear-off med pouches. Myself and Ian both run these on our war belts that we use in classes. And with this, I have a Blackhawk Hawk tool to cut anything I need. I have my cat tourniquet on the side here. Open it up. I got another NPA in here. I've got some Celox and some Celox gauze and stuff inside, like that inside here. A Halo chest seal and some more hemostatic agent. So this is cool. This is awesome if you're running a class, if you're taking a class to have on your person. This is an individual first aid kit. The problem with this is kind of outside of a combat situation or a police application or range type situation. This is kind of big to use. It's going to draw attention. If you're carrying around a cat tourniquet on your side, it's probably going to be kind of weird and freak some people out. And Ian is somebody that's been overseas, been deployed. You had something like this on your deployments, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so this is something that, again, you see a soldier have or a medic or something like that have for any type of gunshot wound, stab wound, anything like that. This is something that, again, will save somebody's life. This is an individual first aid kit versus the bigger first aid kit that could be used for a couple people if, God forbid, the situation arises. What we do want to talk to you about, aside from these things that you should have with you at the range all the time, is the unfortunate incidents that happened earlier the year in Aurora, Colorado, and most recently the mall shooting in Oregon. There were some lives that were lost because people bled out. Everybody knows that you don't essentially die from a bullet, you die from blood loss. So Ian's got something with him today that's been developed by Bill Lute of Tactical Development Group. And Ian, why don't you tell us about what you have with you today? This is stuff that Ian's implemented into his EDC. Again, Ian has some combat casualty care and combat lifesaver under his belt. He's done a couple deployments, spent some time in the sandbox, and he knows exactly how much this type of stuff could potentially save his life or somebody else's life in a gunshot type scenario, active shooter. So,
All right, guys, just like Matt was saying, one of the biggest factors that's going to pretty much attest to you expiring or a victim expiring is blood loss. Okay, it's not the amount of holes, but it's the blood that is leaving your body that's going to make you expire. So with that being said, this is my new everyday carry gear. It's made by Bill Lewis of Tactical Development Group. It's a very minimal design. I got all the feedback from this from my everyday carry video, so I'm going to talk about it now. It runs off of 15 grams of Celox and what's called a SWAT tourniquet. Versus the tourniquet that I had while deployed, this is called a cat tourniquet. As you can see, it's kind of bulky. Yeah, it lays kind of flat, but it's not very pliable, pretty much foldable. With the SWAT tourniquet that's enclosed in this little vacuum sealed pouch, it's very, very bendable. It's basically like a giant rubber band. You get a lot of torque out of it to pretty much torque down the hole to get some good compression off of that, as well as what's called Celox. Now, Celox is a little different than the stuff I used when I was in the military. When I was in, we used what's called Quick Clot. Same concept. It's little fine granules that you pretty much pour onto an opening. It would be activated by heat from moisture and would cauterize the wound. With Celox, this is a little bit newer, like I said, and it doesn't run off of heat. It actually runs off of some type of shellfish, and it actually turns it into like a gel type material and closes up the wound, so to speak. So like I said, it's about the width of a wallet, and I can have this on me at all times. Also with that, I have a bandana. This can be used as a makeshift type bandage if necessary. As well as with that, I always have my utility knife that I can use the victims or myself's clothing as a makeshift bandage if necessary. Pretty much medical treatment on the scene, on the street, is going to be quick and dirty. Okay, you're not going to have time to throw gloves on. It's going to be chaotic and a lot of stuff going on around you, so you're not going to have the time or opportunity to have a nice sterile environment. It's going to be quick and dirty. You're going to want to put as much pressure you can on the wound and call medical assistance as quick as possible.
So again, guys, in a situation like that, when blood loss is critical, applying direct pressure and being one of the first responders in the scene, to apply that direct pressure, plug the hole, stop the bleeding, that could save lives, especially in an active shooter type situation. We don't know, when police are going to arrive, when EMS is going to arrive, if yourself or a buddy or a loved one or something like that is down. Direct pressure, quick and dirty, we call it combat medicine, right there on the scene. That could have potentially saved lives in those situations. That's why myself and Ian decided to implement the new EDC package from Bill Lewitt of Tactical Development Group into what we're going to start carrying every day. If you guys want more information on that, or you want to pick up some of those EDC packages, check out wayofthegun.com. Find them on Facebook. Find us on Facebook. If you like the video, subscribe to the video. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Facebook. Check us out on the web, drftraining.com. Remember, guys, only hits count.